Thanks for staying with us. Now, it's not every day one of our own swapped sides on this sofa.
You're not wrong. It's time, though, he's here to chat about his children's book, among other things. Good morning to you, Eric Roberts.
Good morning.
Delighted to be on this side of the couch.
It is. It's great to see you. You're obviously a part of the weekend team now. How are you enjoying it?
I'm absolutely loving it, yeah. It's been so fun. I feel like I've been part of the furniture for a while, I suppose, bopping in and out.
Martin and Elaine, though, they're not much crack compared to
Compared to what?
I'm not getting involved in politics here today, OK?
You're bringing up the fun factor.
The guys are great crack. They pull the fun out of me. Elaine's coming into her own in the weekend show now. I'm telling you, she's turned a corner.
You're starting to do TikToks and all with them.
It's Elaine's coming up with half the ideas all the time. She's like, let's get another one done today. And Martin's like, oh, Elaine, please, we just want to take our journalistic duties seriously here. And she's like, no, we're making TikToks. So yeah,
Martin would do anything to put a dressing gown on with a towel over his head, honestly.
Yeah.
But you enjoy the crack is good.
I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Yeah, everyone's been so lovely, and everyone behind the cameras as well has been so welcoming.
We won't talk about them. And
life in Dublin, you obviously made the move down here with
I've made the move down.
Niamh and Reen here
Niamh and Reen are in the studio here with us today. If she's shown on camera, she'll murder me, so we'll not do that.
We'll not do that.
We're from Dublin now, yeah. I'm terrified Reen's going to say how are you one of these days. This is first. We've been up now for 3 or 4 days. Boxes upon boxes in the apartment, but we're getting settled.
Really? Okay.
We're getting settled.
Are you getting back up to Donegal much? Or because you're busy with content, with Ireland Day, and with everything else you're doing, man. It's important, I suppose, to have a base, and having somewhere in Dublin is probably best for you for the minute.
100%, yeah. We'll be getting settled. I'm actually going back up on Monday to spend a bit of time with Oisín and stuff, because that's one of the hardest things.
Yeah.
We would have sleepovers every week, so it's hard to explain why that's not happening anymore. But I won't be going up and down as much. I was like a yo-yo there for a couple of years, but I'll be bopping back up, I'd say once a month or twice a month, definitely.
And because Oisín, of course, is your nephew who has cerebral palsy and autism as well. If people follow you online, he's a big part of your life.
100%, yeah.
And a main driver for you to actually become SNA, Special Needs Assistant, before going into the whole content creation type thing.
Yeah, my mother was a special needs assistant for around 20 years, and she was sort of the inspiration behind it initially, and she saw the relationship that I had with Oisín and how much I enjoyed spending time with him, so she sort of pushed me into it, and it was the best decision I ever made, because it's a job to this day that still stays with me, and I suppose I've left it now for a couple of years, but I still do a lot of activism for disabilities, and I work with As I Am charities, and now the reason I'm here today as well is I've written a book, and it's sort of based around inclusion. So.
And what was it like when you're sort of saying you loved it and it's such a part of your life? Why the decision then to leave it and to go into the TikTok, to other things, to broadcast?
I think the decision was sort of made for me. It was a job that I loved, and as a man in his 30s, to make the decision to leave a career that I thought I'd be doing for the rest of my life to make TikToks, it wasn't something that I took very lightly, especially because TikTok was so brand new at the time. This was a few years ago. But I was getting so many incredible opportunities and offers and working with huge brands. It wouldn't have made sense to keep saying no to these things. It would have been crazy. So I had to make the leap, and it's the best thing I ever did, because it's led to so many incredible opportunities in the last couple of years.
And it leads to other ways of raising awareness around autism and different things that you believe strongly in, which is amazing. And you mentioned the book, of course, we have to say it here. It's called Gary the Stinky Goose. Tell us more about the book. It's a children's book.
It's a children's book. It's aimed at 3, 4, 5, 6-year-olds. And I wrote it during my time as an SNA. And I suppose one of the most difficult things for me during that time, it wasn't really in the classroom keeping my students engaged. It was at lunchtime when I went out and about, and I was the only person that they were interacting with. They weren't playing games with their peers. They weren't eating lunch with their friends. They didn't have very many friends. And this was over the course of 3 or 4 years that I noticed this more and more. So I suppose it's difficult to explain to a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old why someone's a little bit different, why someone's a little bit socially awkward, why they mightn't want to integrate themselves into different groups. So I wanted to write a book about someone that has no friends and someone that deserves a lot of friends, and at the end of it, they have lots of friends. And it doesn't mention disabilities, it doesn't mention inclusion. It's just a conversation starter for parents and educators to have at the end of reading the story. Is there anyone here that sits by themselves on the bus? Is there anyone that plays by themselves? Right. Is there anyone we can involve a little bit more? So it's designed for the parent and educator and the reader to spark that conversation, because if we can instill that early enough in our children, that will stay with them throughout.
But like you were saying, if a 4, 5, 6-year-old is having that conversation, it's a brilliant foundation for them.
100%, and that's all it takes. And I mean, later on, I was working in secondary schools, and it was in certain students to come up and get involved with little girls with Down syndrome that I was looking after, or people that were on the spectrum, people with autistic kids that I was looking after at lunchtime, they would come up and they would try and get involved. But not everyone has that trait. Yeah. And if we can instill that in our youth very early on with things like this, and just it's as simple as having a conversation, that could stay with them.
And bringing out messages like that is difficult in a children's book. You don't want to be too preachy.
100%.
And I think with this book, it's like it starts off with... well, a bit like my morning. Each day, Gary's morning has the same start. Gary threw off the sheets and did a big fart. Yeah. So my son is 5. He will love this.
So basically, this wasn't just put together, okay? This was months of research into trying to find out what our kids find funny. Yeah. And after much deliberation, farts.
But Eric, I love this. You call him Stinky, and for a guy who has no smell at all. He's no smell. How do you know he's a stinky goose?
I'm trying to put pen to paper. I've really used my imagination here. But it's an interactive story, and it says on the first page, the reader has to give their best fart noises. So whenever you see the word fart, you have to do your best fart.
Kids love that.
And they get bigger and bigger as the story goes on, and the kids get involved. So it's a really fun story for everyone. But again, it's just about the message that I'm trying to spread.
Well, it's a good message that you constantly try to get through as well in everything that you do. Listen, we'll see you here this weekend, yes?
I'm back this weekend, yeah.
Any other big projects? You're always up to something.
We have a few bits.
Are you running?
I'm doing the Dublin Marathon now in a couple of weeks, yeah. I have a 30...
For As I Am as well?
For the As I Am charity with PTSB, and we're raising as much as we can. Again, the biggest reward for me online isn't the likes and the travel and the opportunities. It's the families that are in similar situations to myself and to my sister Tanya and her son Oisín. And they just love that being brought to the mainstream. Yeah. And that help wasn't really there for Tanya when she had Oisín. So the likes of As I Am and stuff are incredible. And I love being able to be a voice and bringing how amazing Oisín is and other families to the forefront.
And the book is out today.
The book is out today. It's available from mayobooks.ie and on my Instagram and TikTok and everywhere else.
It'd be great for the kids.
Eric, great to see you.
Thank you so much. And they will see you all weekend.
We will.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.